How can a YouTube star, adored by millions, fall from grace so dramatically? This is the story of Unspeakable, a name that once echoed powerfully across the internet. Born from humble beginnings, he crafted a digital empire that captivated millions. His content, a unique blend of humor, creativity, and relatability, resonated with fans from all walks of life. His success was not a stroke of luck, but the result of tireless effort and dedication. Day and night, he worked, ensuring that his fans always had something to look forward to. His popularity soared, his fan base grew, and he became a beacon of inspiration for aspiring YouTubers. However, fame can be a double-edged sword. As Unspeakable rose to the pinnacle of his career, the first signs of trouble began to emerge. Controversial incidents started to taint his reputation, casting a shadow over his once glittering career. But alas, the first cracks in the armor were beginning to show. Once the descent started, it was a rapid plunge into controversy. This was an unexpected twist in the tale of Unspeakable, a YouTube sensation who was loved by millions. His fall from grace began with a series of controversies that seemed to snowball, one after the other, with an alarming velocity. First, there was the scandal that rocked the online world. Unspeakable, known for his family-friendly content, suddenly found himself in the midst of a controversy that raised questions about the nature of his videos. The public outcry was swift and severe, with many questioning the integrity of the YouTuber they had once admired. Unspeakable's response? A public apology that seemed more like damage control than a genuine expression of remorse. Next, there was the incident that provoked widespread outrage. The details are still sketchy, but what is clear is that Unspeakable's actions were seen as unacceptable by many. The public's reaction was visceral, with people expressing their anger and disappointment in no uncertain terms. Unspeakable's response was once again less than satisfactory. Then came the third and final blow, the controversy that seemed to seal his fate. The public backlash was so severe that it seemed as if Unspeakable's reputation was beyond repair. His response? A silence that was deafening, and a failure to address the situation that only fueled the public's anger and mistrust. Each controversy chipped away at Unspeakable's reputation, with his responses doing little to stem the tide of public opinion. His inability to effectively address these issues only served to exacerbate the situation, leading to a downward spiral from which he seemed unable to recover. The impact was undeniable. Unspeakable, once a beloved figure on YouTube, was now the subject of controversy and disdain. His fall from grace was a stark reminder of how quickly fortunes can change in the public eye. The once invincible Unspeakable was now a figure of controversy and disdain. His descent was swift and dramatic, a stark contrast to the rise that had once seemed unstoppable. The downfall of a star is never a solitary event, it ripples through the hearts of fans. And so it was, for the fans of Unspeakable. As news of the YouTuber's downfall spread, the reactions were as varied and colorful as his content once was. The shock was tangible, almost palpable, as fans grappled with the reality of their favorite online personality's decline. It was like waking up to find your favorite painting has lost all its colors overnight. Disorienting, disheartening, and deeply disappointing. Some fans, in their disbelief, sought solace in the camaraderie of their fellow supporters, turning the comment sections of Unspeakable's videos into virtual support groups. They shared their thoughts, their confusion, their sadness. It was a collective mourning, an online wake for the end of an era. Others reacted with anger, feeling betrayed by the person they had trusted and looked up to. They felt deceived, as if they had been cheering on a facade, a character rather than a person. There were even movements launched on social media, hashtags trending, calling for Unspeakable to be held accountable for his actions. And there were those who, in their disappointment, found the strength to critically evaluate their idol. They questioned their own perception of Unspeakable, their blind adoration, and how it may have contributed to his downfall. It was a painful awakening, a challenging introspection that left many feeling disillusioned. The impact on fans was profound and far-reaching. The downfall of Unspeakable was not just the fall of a YouTube star but a disillusionment, a betrayal of trust, a sharp reminder of the human flaws that lurk beneath the polished veneer of online personalities. It was a loss of innocence, a coming of age for many fans who had followed Unspeakable with unwavering support and admiration. The fans, once his biggest supporters, were now left feeling betrayed and disillusioned. The fallout from Unspeakable's downfall was far-reaching and profound. In the wake of the tumultuous events, Unspeakable was left to grapple with the consequences. A cascade of legal battles, financial woes and personal challenges ensued, casting a long shadow over what was once a shining career. The legal ramifications were significant. Allegations of misconduct led to a whirlwind of court appearances and legal wrangling. He was forced to navigate a labyrinth of lawsuits and settlements, the details of which were as complex as they were costly. Financially, the impact was equally devastating. With the loss of lucrative sponsorships and plummeting ad revenue, his once thriving empire began to crumble. Assets were liquidated, staff were let go, and the opulent lifestyle he had once flaunted faded into a stark reality of dwindling bank accounts and mounting debt. Personally, Unspeakable found himself in uncharted territory. Friends and colleagues distanced themselves, leaving him isolated and alone. His once vibrant social media presence dwindled to a faint whisper as he grappled with the reality of his fall from grace. Professionally, the effects were just as profound. He attempted to salvage his reputation, embarking on a series of public apologies and goodwill gestures. He ventured into new projects, trying to reinvent himself and recapture the magic that had once made him a YouTube sensation. But the damage was done. His attempts were met with skepticism, and the lingering taint of scandal proved difficult to erase. The aftermath of Unspeakable's downfall was a stark contrast to his previous success. It served as a harsh reminder of the fleeting nature of fame and the perils of misconduct. His journey from YouTube star to social pariah was a dramatic shift, marking a dark chapter in his life. Unspeakable was no longer the beloved YouTube star, but rather a cautionary tale. Every move he made, every attempt to rebuild, was met with scrutiny. His story serves as a stark reminder that even those who reach the pinnacle of success can fall, and the descent can be swift and unforgiving. In every downfall, there are lessons to be learned, and the story of Unspeakable's decline is no exception. His journey, from rapid ascent to sudden plummet, is a cautionary tale that underscores some crucial truths about fame, image, and the consequences of one's actions. Firstly, the consequences. Unspeakable's downfall was not a sudden, unforeseeable event. It was a result of a series of missteps, each one adding to the erosion of his image, his credibility, and ultimately, his fan base. It serves as a stark reminder that every action has consequences. In a world as interconnected as ours, where every misstep can be amplified 1,000-fold, it's more critical than ever to think before you act. The second lesson is about image. Maintaining a clean, positive image isn't just about avoiding scandal, it's about living up to the expectations you set for yourself and your followers. Unspeakable built an image of himself as a fun-loving, good-hearted creator. But when his actions contradicted that image, it didn't just disappoint his fans, it shattered their trust. This underlines the importance of authenticity and consistency in maintaining a positive image. Lastly, the fickle nature of fame. Unspeakable's rise to prominence was meteoric, but his fall was equally swift. Fame is a double-edged sword. It can elevate you to dizzying heights, but it can also cast you down into the depths with alarming speed. This reminds us that fame is not an end in itself, but a tool. It's something to be used wisely and responsibly, not something to be chased for its own sake. So, as we reflect on Unspeakable's fall from grace, let's remember these lessons. Let's remember that our actions have consequences, that authenticity is key to maintaining a positive image, and that fame is a precarious pedestal. Unspeakable's downfall serves as a stark reminder that fame is precarious and reputation is everything.